What up, Ninja Village? Welcome to another episode of Car Chronicles Reviews with the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. And what's Car Chronicle Reviews is where one or more of us ninjas discuss things from movies, TV, video games, events, conventions, and everything in between. I'm Scooter Lou, your host for today, and I will be talking about Twisters. Nope, not the 1990. Jesus, that sounded so far. Not the 1996 classic Twister, but the loosely sequel Twisters, starring these amazing trio here of Anthony Ramos, Daisy Edgar Jones, and Glenn Powell. Now, reason why I said it's a loose sequel because it really has no ties to the original. There's a slight nod and some slight nods that if you pay attention in the beginning and then kind of throughout the movie where you're like, oh, okay. Especially if you've seen Twister, because look, that movie came out in 96, and since that movie's release, I have pretty much seen that movie yearly. Straight up yearly. But hey, we're here. But yes, it's his own thing. There's no ties to the original, so you don't have to see it. You don't have to remember it. It's his own thing, and might I add, it was amazing. As a person who loved the original, I was worried. I was concerned, and I was like, why did they have to revisit that property in 2024? It was worth it. If I had to give a review off that, it might be a 10. It might be a 10. Of course, for my own personal whatever reasons, but it might be a 10. The effects was great. The acting was great. The story was actually easy to follow, which, to just give an overview of the story, a retired storm chaser comes back in the game. And that, of course, retired storm chaser happens to be Daisy Edgar Jones' character, Kate. She had an incident. She decided to retire as a storm chaser. She was brought back in by one of her best friends, Anthony Ramos' hobby, and they back to chasing tornadoes again. And they run into Glenn Powell's Tyler Owens, who he has this, they didn't necessarily say it was YouTube, but you could pretty much say that it was YouTube, that he basically, him and his crew record themselves chasing tornadoes. And not only do they chase tornadoes, they have merch. It's a whole production. And I think they were called the Tornado Wranglers, if I remember correctly. So, of course, their paths all intertwined because Tornado Alley is going through their most craziest season of tornadoes. So there's the adventure. I don't want to get too much into story spoilers or anything like that, but that's pretty much the overview. Tyler Owens, Glenn Powell, Kate, Daisy Edgar Jones, and Javi Anthony Ramos chasing tornadoes. And it's a wild ride. No pun intended. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did. It was good to be back in the element of Twister. Because if you remember Twister, the nervousness you got, especially when the tornadoes hit, you saw the cow flying, which that was one of the most famous scenes. The infamous "Where's my truck?" And it just boom lands. You had the whole them driving through a house. May he rest in peace, Philip Seymour Hoffman getting hit in the forehead with a saw blade. Like, of course, rest in peace, Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt. I mean, the first one is a classic. And if you disagree, you didn't see the right movie. Plain and simple. You didn't see the right movie. You did not see Twister for what it was, as a classic. As far as natural disaster weather movies, Twister is a classic. And I'm not going to necessarily say this one is a classic per se, but it does the franchise justice. It's not one of those, like, you can really tell they had some serious thought into making this movie. Like, I mean, it's been almost 30 years since the original. Jeez, that sounded so long ago. But it's been almost 30 years since the original, so it wasn't like, let's just make a movie just because. No, you could tell whoever decided to revisit this franchise had a thought, and they was like, hey, we're going to execute this thought in Twisters. I saw it in IMAX, so of course, I got the effect of the loudness, the wind, the just destruction at times, and I can only imagine for like the RDX or the 4D and things like that with the rocking seats and things like that. I'm pretty sure it would be an interesting thing to see in that format. But yes, it was a very enjoyable movie. I will say, if you can see it in theaters. If you want to wait to streaming, you can wait to streaming. I feel that it's not necessarily one of those movies where it's like, if you don't see it, you're going to miss out on all of these spoilers, or you're going to be out the loop or anything like that. It's not like the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine, which I'm pretty sure there's going to be spoilers galore. And people that's going to make people feel the way that you didn't go see Deadpool and Wolverine. No, this is definitely not one of those movies. Not at all. But yes, I give it a 10. I loved it. But once again, I'm biased towards Twister. So I'm not going to even lie. I actually came in actually wanting to hate this movie a little bit. Because it was like, how dare y'all? Dare y'all make a second Twister. I dare y'all. But nope, I enjoyed it. I loved it. 10. Absolutely would recommend. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. Because yes, this was a unconventional CCR with me not being on camera. It's just my voice. It's just this voice. I would go into ASMR mode, but Mrs. Ladybug is here and she'll probably hit me. She's not the biggest fan of ASMR. So there's that. But thank y'all for tuning in. Shout outs to the other two ninjas, Cosmic Boss or Run Your Miss. Thank y'all for listening. After you listen and hear this review, go like it, comment on it, share it. After you do all of that, subscribe. Once you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for other CCRs. You can be notified for Boss Reacts, LTSN Cafe, Ninja Banter, all those type of things. All of that. Just come on into the Ninja Village. All and everyone is welcome. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love one another. Take care of one another. Love yourself and take care of yourself. And until next time, Twisters. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Go see it. Peace, everybody.